Our vision is narrow. We see what is near and we miss what lies farther away. But to know where to go, we need to see the available options. We need to have them in our mind. We need a destination. It's far enough, but also close enough to be reachable. Instead, we are short sighted. And this often becomes a real problem. Sometimes you do not see many options at all. And other times you have options, but you get lost among them. It is not enough to know what your destination is. You need to know where it is so you can choose a path toward it. And more than that, you want to know which path is best among the alternatives so you can arrive with less cost and with less time spent on the road. But again, your vision is limited and you see only so far. So how then can you understand the territory around you? And how can you choose where you want to arrive and how to get there when you are trapped inside a narrow field of view? This is why self-navigation becomes confusing and frustrating, because we need a bigger picture to be able to build a path forward to our desired destination. We need a bigger picture so our local space would make a sense to us in relation to the territory around us. We also need to know the option, the alternative we have at this territory around us, so we could pick a desired option, a desired alternative, so we could choose a desired option as a destination to follow. And we have always known this. That is why we use maps, so we don't get lost while traveling. This is why sailors use stars and why climbers aim for the mountaintop. We need a reference point that rise above the local landscape, something that lets our current position make sense in relation to where we could go. And to do that, we have to distance ourselves from our local place. And we often do this through abstraction. We do it through our thoughts. When we step back and we imagine the possibilities, we comparing the pathways, we try to build a map, we try to lay out our experience. And each of us carries an inner map of the world as we experience it. And we use our experience, we connect the pieces, and we extrapolate what might be possible. But our capacity is limited and our mental vision is short-sighted too. So we outsource. That's what we do. We ask others, we listen, we read, and we borrow what we can from a collective experience to update our internal map. If we try to find the right destination by trial and error alone, it would be too costly, too much. It could still be not enough. We could spend our life wandering in the wrong territory. So it is often wiser to use maps built from many people's journeys, sometimes at great cost, sometimes at the cost of lives or through the lives of many people, like the maps have been built, for example. So you can either decide to go by trial and error and wander in this territory till you will find a desirable place, or you can use a map that has been created through the experience of multiple people, through the lives of multiple people, that has been specified with all the precise locations that have been discovered collectively. right? And so that's why people use maps, right? Because you don't want to spend too much time wandering. You want to arrive at a desired destination faster. And you also want to know what could be the desired destination, right? And you don't want to spend all your life finding it out. So you use the map. Still have imperfect maps, right? Still incomplete, but it's better than nothing. It's better than blindness. It's better than spending too much time just figuring out on your own. So we are wise if we pay attention to the so-called cognitive maps, to the experience of other people, to the other people's perception. If we pay attention to feedback, if we pay attention to collective experience, if we pay attention to history, if we pay attention to hard-won knowledge. Here is the difficulty. Whether you rely on your own experience or someone else's experience or on experimentation, you have only so much time and effectively infinite amount of data. So you cannot collect everything. And even if you would be, you cannot keep everything. You cannot keep all the data inside of your mind because it's too limited. You cannot process everything. And you also cannot freeze until you feel certain, because if you stop acting entirely, you do not stay neutral. You deteriorate. And you have to choose how to act now, even with the limited information. And this creates a paradox. The lack of information confuses you, but the abundance of information can confuse you even more. And too many options produce doubt. Which one matters? Which one leads somewhere real? Which one is only noise? Which one I think I want and which one I truly want? So what you actually need is not only a high place from where you could see farther, from where you can see all the territory, all the options, to have all the data. You need a filter as well. You need a way to recognize which data is relevant, which data you should consider, where and when should you pay attention and when not to, which possibilities deserve your attention and which constraints you should have. So, which choices actually fit the purpose at hand. And a good filter shrinks all the infinite possibilities into an actionable certainty. Not perfect certainty, but enough clarity to move. It gives you clarity by constraining all the infinite possibilities into a precise field of action. And even after you identify the alternatives of the map, you face the most personal question. You still turn at yourself with question, having all these alternatives and options to choose from, where do I want to go? Because I want can mean multiple things. It can mean what I want right now. It can mean what I would choose if I aim to provide for my family. And it can also mean what I want, even though I'm not sure what is truly good for me. So you can still be conflicted, even when you see all the options clearly, even if you have the data. So how do you choose? Imagine you could have a kind of filter that could help you to keep updating your map of your knowledge and your experience. A filter that could help you to keep developing your vision, to keep pushing to enhance the capacity of your vision, and also enabling your capacity to move faster between the places you travel. Not only to move faster and to see farther, but also as you move to survive the difficulties and hardships that come along the way. And this is why the highest reference point is not merely a direction. It is a standard of transformation. It does not only tell you where to go, it tells you what you must sacrifice for the certain consequences to become possible, what you must learn, and what you must stop doing if you want your life to stop being random.